I grew up with Goosebumps, but I hadn't read any of the Fear Street books, and we were just talking about maybe starting a Fear Street book club. Cause
yeah,
it seems like
we gotta catch up. No, I didn't either, but you did.
Yeah.
I didn't, but it was a great introduction to the R.L. Stine world, like a lucky introduction, getting to kind of dive in.
Yeah. Totally.
You having a good night?
So first, I have a question for each of you. Outside of the Fear Street trilogy, because that would be too easy, what film would you pair with Fear Street Prom Queen as a double feature? And we can just go down the line.
I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna say it again. Heather's.
You a Heather?
No, I'm a Veronica.
It's perfect. It's like a good mirror of the two. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But also like with really intense differences and like a really obviously real 80s cast and then a 2025 cast. So
It's like even better. That's a great double feature.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna say Mean Girls because I feel like Mean Girls could have had a very different ending. If they wanted to make it a horror movie, there's perfect ways to do
that would have been a great horror movie.
right?
Yeah.
So I feel like I would do that as a double feature.
I'm gonna say either Drop Dead Gorgeous or
Right.
Jennifer's Body. We haven't mentioned that today. I know.
Jennifer's body's
Yes,
so
Drop Dead
good.
Gorgeous. There's so many parallels, and it's like the performances in that movie are so incredible. And then Jennifer's Body is just another. I mean, they're both campy and pulpy and like wonderful. And I think either of those would be like a really fun kind of romp and horror for a second.
And I feel like the girls in Prom Queen are almost bloodthirsty the way Jennifer's Body is.
Jennifer's
Yes,
body,
You know what I
yes.
mean? Like,
it's
they're
the same
vicious.
obsessiveness and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
infatuation within others. That's
Yeah.
a great pull.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
Did any of you have any experience with the book series, like prior to your casting?
I grew up with Goosebumps, but I hadn't read any of the Fear Street books, and we were just talking about maybe starting a Fear Street book club. Cause it seems
Yeah,
like
we gotta catch up. No, I didn't either, but you did.
Yeah.
I didn't, but it was a great introduction to the R.L. Stine world, like a lucky introduction, getting to kind of dive in.
Yeah.
Totally. And I love a good book adaptation into movies, and I love that there's pre-existing fans in this world. I think it makes the whole series so much more special. But no, I didn't get the chance to read them. But like she said, we're starting a freaking book club.
Book club.
Ariana, what makes a good final girl that an audience can like root for?
You gotta like your final girl. You gotta connect with her. You gotta see her flaws, but you gotta also, justify her decisions. I think a good final girl, you might doubt in the beginning, and you might really have much confidence in her decisions, but she has strength. And I think what I love most about horror movies and final girls is like you see the rapid growth in that human being with like the amount of pressure and scary situations that they are put in. It's like grow up fast and get smart fast, and it's like I think you just gotta like her, you gotta root for her, you gotta understand her, and you gotta humanize her so you will hope for the best towards the end.
Great answer.
Well, Ella, on a similar note, what do you think makes a good slasher villain?
Ooh, you gotta like her, you gotta root for her. What makes a good slasher villain? Oh man,
That's a great question.
That is.
I guess you know what is you as much as like you hate them and you're rooting against them, like you want to see them in the frame.
Yeah.
Like you want them there because it's such a kind of like, at least for me, my preference. Like horror villains can be so like delicious in a way, and I think like you know when a horror villain is incredible, like even though they're sort of the foil of the film, like you want them there to keep the action up, to like keep the excitement up, and often like I love a funny villain. Even like I would say this villain is quite funny,
really funny,
physically,
actually.
like a lot of amazing body work. And I would say you just like you as much as you hate them, like you kind of hate to love them.
I have one, even though you didn't ask me, and I promise I won't
please.
talk ever again. But it just came up. Like Halloween and Friday the 13th, the main thing I think of is like the song that plays when you know they're about to
Yes.
enter. Like,
Yeah.
I love a good
Soundtrack.
specific sound
Yeah.
that you hear constantly when the villain is about to come
And
up.
like Jaws. Like,
Even
Yeah.
Jaws, like it's like you have the iconic like da dun dun, like it's like you know there. It's like it makes the suspense 10 times better for me, and I feel like it adds to the villain's aura.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like depending the aura.
Thank you for saying that.
I want a theme song. I want
Yeah,
a
it's a
scary
theme
little
song.
theme
It's like even if you don't see them or you don't know when, it's like the haunting.
me walking into my
daunting-
therapist's office is like, don't.
But I feel like that makes a great villain as a score.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great point.
You having a good night?
Thank you for clicking on our video, everybody. If you like what you saw here, please make sure you like the video and subscribe and share with your friends who like this sort of content. JoBlo was created by movie fans for movie fans, and we appreciate your support.